Good evening, everybody. This is IBO-1 and block number 5, and the topics related to everybody. Everybody receive my slides. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
My dear students,
Yes,
this is
sir.
IBO-1 block number 5, and the topic is contemporary developments and issues. My dear students, myself Dr. Durga Madhav Mahapatra, lecturer in Commerce, Fakirmohan Autonomous College, Baleswar, and as well as Counselor of Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi. In front of you, I am presenting my slides regarding this topic, and the topics are very interesting topics are there. That is, it's not somehow relevant to the international business. Somehow, I am pointed out somehow. It means contemporary developments and issues as relates to international business. My dear students, if you talk about international business, the question is sometimes uh, in your mind one word is comes, that is called as the environment or international environment. Environment means it is called as a surrounding, or international business environment means some of the factors or some of the activities which are surrounded, which are encircled, or which are influenced in your business as regards to international business. Means some of the factors. Means if you talk about MNC, certainly some factor are affect to establish a MNC company in India, and some positive factors are there, some negative factors are there. The question is, these factors which are to be related to environmental factors, you may call it as environmental factors, I can put in a only one word, that is called as a step in. STEPIN, step in. These are the step in factors. The question is, what is step in factors? Step means social and cultural factors, and that is S means social and cultural factors, T means technological factors, and that is E means economic factors, and P means political, or you may call it as a governmental factors, and I means that is called as a international factors or international I, or may be called as a last, that is N means that is called as a natural factors. My dear students, if you talk about some of the factors which are influence the international business, only one word comes to my mind, that is called as a step in. STEPIN. The question is, what is step in? S means social and cultural factors, T means technological factor, E means economic factor, P means political factor, and I means international factor, and N means that is natural factors. It means somehow these factors are influence our internationalization of business. My dear student, if you talk in a broader sense, what type of factors are to be affects in a broader way, it is maybe divided into two type of environmental issues are there. One is internal environmental issues, another one is external environmental issues are there, or maybe you may call it as a internal factors, or you may call it as a external factors or external environmental factors. I am talking about environmental factors. The question is internal environmental factors for as regards to the internationalization of business. What are these? The first factor is human resource development. Means where the cheap human resource development is available, then MNCR comes to the particular country and start their business. Or even if in Indian companies are shifted or a next arrangement of in other country due to the only environment, due to the only human resource factors. Human resource management, trade unions, another one is organizational structure, financial management, marketing, production, or management related to leadership issues. These are called as internal environmental factors through which a company can establish their business in internationally. But the question is somehow some external factors are there. But these external factor I have to divide it into two parts. One is micro level, another one is macro level. If you talk about micro level, these are different other ways are there. These are the called as a competitors, may be called as a market intermediators, may be called as a suppliers of raw material, may be called as a bankers, may be called as a financiers, may be called as a shareholders, or may be called as a that is called as a and stakeholders, those who are internal or micro level participate in a particular type of business, international business environment. If you talk about external way of business environment, that is called as a macro level, that is called as a socio-cultural, that is called as a technological, which are already I have pointed out in a last 1 minute, that is called as a stepping. These are the some of the issues we can address upon the particular type of internationalization of business. Means however, good environment or conducive environment is necessary for a establishment of any internationalization of business, or you may call it as a or exporting of goods and services or importing of goods and services. But the question is, in my mind, one word is come up that is called as a, I have already stated, the countries are to be divided into different parts. You may call as a developed countries. Yes, USA, UK, these are called as a developed countries. If you talk about some of the countries are underdeveloped countries, some of the countries are developing countries. So there are three type of countries we are in encounter within the particular business environment: developed, developing, and underdeveloped. But the question is, who can define the particular country is developed? Who can define the particular country is developing? Who can define the particular country is underdeveloped? My dear student, listen. The word is the World Bank categorize the economics according to their per capita gross national income into different set of countries, like as a low income countries, lower middle income countries, upper middle income countries, and higher income countries. If you talk about higher income countries, that is called as a developed. If you talk about upper middle income countries or lower in middle income countries, that may be called as a developing. Another countries that is called as a low income countries, that is called as a underdeveloped countries. These are to be defined by the World Bank according to the per capita gross national income. In this such a scenario, the particular country can be divided into different aspects. The question is, one student asked me, sir, who are called, if you talk about developed countries, what are the example? If you talk about USA, UK, Japan, Italy, Australia, these are called as a high income countries. These are called as a developed countries. If you talk about upper middle and lower middle, if you combine together, that is called as a developing countries. Like Bosnia, China, Fiji, Indonesia. Now the China is maybe you may call it as a developed country, but Indonesia and New Guinea, so some Iceland's countries or Sri Lanka, these are also called as a, that is called as a developing countries. But if you talk about underdeveloped, some countries are there. That is called as Ethiopia, Eritrea, India. You may now the India is shifted from underdeveloped to developed, developing, or Pakistan, Bangladesh. These are grouped into low-income countries. But the question is, we are defining the according to the World Bank, the countries are to be divided into different income groups, like as low income countries, lower middle income countries, upper middle income countries, or higher income countries, or you may layman point of view developed, underdeveloped, or developing. And some environmental factors always influence in such a type of scenario. In this case, in today's topic is related to contemporary developments. What are the contemporary developments? In my slide, you see the contemporary developments are in Unit 7. The topic is international trade and environment. What type of environments are there as regards to international trade? Unit 18, that is international trade related to services. Another one is very interesting topic is there, international business ethics, and unit 20, that is called as a electronic commerce. Somehow it is related to international business. So there are two topics are very interesting, that is international business ethics and electronic commerce, and another two topics is related to environment and services. My dear student, in my slide you see that I have put some concept regarding the trade versus environment, and in previous some minutes ago I have discussed how the environmental issues, environment means micro and macro, and a step and in, that is step in, and how these are to be issues related to internationalization of business. But somehow some contemporary issues are to be undertaken as regards to internationalization of business, that is called as a degradation of natural resources. Problem is, another problem is conservation of wildlife. Another one is depletion of ozone layer. Health issues is there. Safety standards are there. These are some of the issues which are to be debated in the trade and environmental condition issues as relates to we internationalize our business. Means somehow degradation of environment, depletion of resources, or conservation of wildlife, safety, health and safety standards. These are the some of the issues which can dominate, and always environmentalists always lobby on Western countries as regards to protect the environment, or focus on green environment, or you may call it as nowadays the environmentalists are more focusing as regards to the particular of ozone layer issues, or maybe called as a, that is called as a climate change. These are the some issues which are to be undertaken in the to safeguarding the in a greater extent of a global environment as regards to internationalization of business. My dear student, in this scenario, somehow if you talk about international trade, it is always governed by the GATT, and now WTO regime is going on after 1994, and the GATT is mostly ruled regarding the trade issues, and after Uruguay round, the WTO has an more counter enough to against such countries who are run down their natural resources or destroy their species, or establish the pollution prone industries. Means WTO is look into the matter of such issues, that is called as a contemporary issues, which is over not to be overruled but also more focusing in a particular type of countries. Means if you generally in our mind, if you talk about low income countries, there is a some of the issues are there. But even if some issues, we are more focusing about the natural resources, not destroying the endangered species, and to pollution prone industries to be protected. But even if that the some environmental standard and policies are there, or international agreement of environmental standard and policies are there to revive of such issues, and major task force is undertaken to such type of issues to be undertaken with a new WTO trade regime. New WTO trade regime means new WTO, the overruling the pass on its upon preparation of a global policy as regards to environment. Another concept is international institution dealing with environment. What are the international institutions which are dealt with the environment? Because environment is necessary, and without a green environment, we do not sustain our business also. Mean in such scenario, the UN Nations General Assembly meeting is there. In such case, high level intergovernmental mechanism is there on one conference which is held, that is called as the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, that is called as the UNCED, and which is say agenda 21 agenda they are adopted or they are discussed in 1992. In this 21 agenda, they are more focusing towards the only related to environment. Environmental issues is a one of a important issue in not only the internationalization of business, but also to revival of sustainable of economy. Next one is the second discussion. Second institution is the UN Commission on Sustainable Development, UNCSD, and that a particular organization also focusing on integration of environment and developmental issues. They also focusing on the similar line of implementation of agenda of 21 agenda, and they also target some of the 0.7% of GNP for a developed countries overseas development assistance. They are maintaining some assistance scheme, and through the transfer of technology, through the financing in such a particular social council meeting. And another one is another organization, another institution is there, that is called as the UN Environment Program. UNEP is also there in 1972. That is called as a United Nations Conference on Human Environment, that is held at 1972 at Stockholm. They also focusing on environmental, natural resources, and future development upon them. It means they are most promoted with the international environmental law. It means UNEP, UN Environment Program, first established the particular type of law that is called as the international environment law, and we can abide by some of the guidelines as regards to national government, and with some legal issues are there. Even if that in addition to that, some environmental economics related to in 1993 they create a environmental economics unit is also frame out. Some environmental impact assessment, natural resources accounting, environmental accounting, environmental of economic evaluation of environmental goods and services. And these are the really issues which are to be undertaken by the UNEP. The UNEP means that is the UN Environment Program, main focusing only the not only the preparation of environmental law, but also they are focusing on environmental impact assessment and environmental accounting, natural resources accounting, as well as economic evaluation of environmental goods and services. I mean, these are the some instrumental way through which the particular how far is the environmental impact procedure on trade policy are to be undertaken, or what type of market-based instruments are there in such a type of institutions. Another fourth one of institution is that is called as the UN Conference on Trade and Development. Under such UNCTD, and that is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, which are issues, and in 1964 the 186 members are there. They are also more focusing related to policy analysis and interaction between the environmental and trade policy. Whatever it may, the dissemination of information related to environment and these type of UNCTD, UN Conference on Trade and Development are to be more focused on, and it is a one main organ of a UN General Council, which is started at in a first point of time to more precaution regarding the trade and environmental issues. Another one organization that maybe everybody know, that is called as a WTO. Even if WTO is always look into this matter, and they are more conscious about the trading system, multilateral trading system, goods and services, intellectual property rights, as regards to reference, extensive programs are focus on such a type of WTO. But the question is, sometimes before ago when the WTO is started, before GATT and the environment agenda already start a good shape. Means according to the GATT report of trade and environment, they also focusing related to some lines I have put in my slides. They are focusing on domestic production, consumption, domestically imported goods. Even if the countries can do the imports and how domestically produce the particular goods, and what are the constraint enough, and how it sustain the how it damages the environment, that's economical liberalization will be prevailing with such a situations are to discuss in such a agenda. But that also prevent some countries also, some export ban. They also banning some in a Uruguay round. They are also imposing some export ban also, and disapproving the trade measures also, and detrimental of international environmental agreements also. GATT also dispute some settlement measures also, transparent on some settlement of issues also, as regards to opportunities of environmentalists. It means environment, green environment, sustaining environment with trade, own forest. Means these are the some of the issues which are to be undertaken not only by the UNCTD, not only by the UN Council, but also GATT has done already at a time of before in 1994. The question is some of the achievements at the time of Uruguay round of negotiation. I have already stated the GATT is end with the Uruguay round, and then only the WTO is started enough. But in a Uruguay round, that is Uruguay round of trade negotiation, they are also focusing the same issue, environmental concern, sectoral agreement, and some difference between some sections. And they are more action taken, like as a agreement on technical barriers to trade (TBT), agreement on sanitary, phytosanitary measures also, agreement on agriculture. It means they are somehow they are associated with some agreement also, and they are also focusing agreement on subsidies, counter prevailing duties also, trips. Already I have discussed trips. There is a agreement of trade related intellectual property rights also, agreement on trade in services, dispute in settlement measures also. These are the already I have discussed in previous classes what Uruguay round discuss in as regards to the particular type of GATT agreements. Another one is in such a scenario, some environmental issues as related to in Indian experience. If you talk about Indian experience, India as a developing country always focus on environment. Always some issues are there in India. One is the environment, another one is child labor, another one is labor standard, another one is human right, another one is international trade agenda. These are the agenda, these are the issues. In an exam, some questions are to become what are the in Indian experience or Indian issues as relates to environmental. You may say not only the child labor and labor standard, human rights, international trade agendas are there, through which Uruguay rounds have on some quota region, some bargaining is there. Some issues we have to be undertaken such type of solving the issues as a developing country. But the question is, these are the some issues as relates to not only the developed countries or developing countries or underdeveloped countries, the double tierism, the Uruguay round, and some of the UN Council's meetings and UN city meeting through which they are more focusing towards the trade as relates to the only environment. But my dear students, if you talk about some of the low income groups problem, if you in the orientation through low income groups, there is a some of the limited industrialization is there and low literacy is there, high birth rate is there, heavy reliance on they are heavy means requirement of foreign investment is also there, and they are more concentrated with Africa and South Africa in the Sahara areas, and excessive unemployment is there, and some technological backwardness is there, underutilization of natural resources there, and excessive dependency on imports are there. These are some of the issues of the only low income or underdeveloped countries. But how far these issues, environmental issues, or how far these environmental issues can be undertaken by the WTO also, and it previously it is undertaken by in the Uruguay round of GATT agreements also, and after that some rounds of issues which are to be UN Council, they are also most protecting regarding the environmental position of a international trade and as well as in a business in a point of time. And another topic is that is unit 10, that is not only unit 10, sorry, it is unit in 18, that is called as a international trade in services. The question is, international trade in services means what type of services is there. Services here, services means international trade means transportation of goods and services, or movement of labor, or movement of capital, or foreign direct investment, that's called as a services. Or you may call as a whether movement of a capital or labor also. These, but in such situation, the GATT, which is more focusing on such a type of issues, what type of issues are to be undertaken? These are called as a cross-border movement. They are more focusing on cross-border movements. Another one is they are focusing on movement of consumers also. Consumers movement as regards to tourism. They are more focusing about commercial presence of abroad also. Our presence means that is a banking services or other services, commercial presence, and presence of natural person abroad also. It means a doctor goes abroad to provide medical services. These are to be services which are to be undertaken in such a type of internationalization of business. Means we are very much thankful to the internationalization of our business, through which we can get some of the good services, or we can get some of the banking services, or we can get of the a tourism services as relates to the internationalization of, that is called as a cross-border movement or cross-border of you may call as a software technology can be exporting in such issues. Another one is some of the trade services are there also. What trade services means? If, for example, if the engineer working at a consultant in a foreign country for a limited time, if some engineer means some people are go for Bhutan, Japan, and other countries for a short period of time. That's called as a one type of tourism across a national border. It's a one type of services. And balance of payment, it also starts some of balancing of in the two countries position of a accounts balance of a particular country through the cross border transaction with resident and non-resident individuals or firms, that can be done through the trading services. And some debates over the trading services are there. What are the debates? The debate is similar, only one point. What I have already said, Uruguay round of multilateral trade negotiations, and then it is established that in a WTO is frame, WTO is superseded the particular Uruguay round and that GATT, and then he has come into force of 1995. This is called as a debate. When all the international trade and services can be solved through Uruguay round, GATT, and WTO concepts, and that's called as a progressive liberalization of trade in services after 1995. But my dear student, if you talk about some of the role of trade in services in economic development, what is the role of services in economic development? Economic development means economic growth. Economic development means it increase our GNP, GDP. Or economic development means there is a creation of employment opportunity. Economic development means proper utilization of resources. Economic development means that is called as a large services are to be exports as regards to internationalization of business, or greater employment opportunities created, or maybe called as a labor intensive business are to be more focused on in a economic development of a services also. Or even if you talk about services, 60% of the employment of a developed country are to be more focused towards the services development in a economic development particularly. It means developing country like they are more focusing tourism, they are more focusing hotel industry, they are more focusing manpower management, they are more focusing in software, they are more focusing in trunky projects, they are more focusing in consultancy assignment and interested to labor appointment. For example, you see in India, there is a number of peoples are go to the abroad and to give their services for a short period of time. That's a way through which our foreign exchange or type of economic development can be more well in manner to solve the unemployment problem also. If you talk about some foreign exchange or employment generation, in such situation also foreign exchange or employment generation, there is also some of the industrialization process or new companies are to become up, new type of business are to be frame out, and you see in several companies are come up here, like as in for the best example of Vodafone, it is also an international company, and how he looks into the particular service sector of in a telecom sector. For example, if you talk about in health sector, similar lines some companies are there. If you talk about some print media also, print media or electronic media, similar type of services they are also providing. This is the way we are thankful to the internationalization of business in a tremendous way through which of economic development is arises. My dear students, this is unit 19, and that is topic is that is called as international business ethics. The question is what is international business ethics, and what is ethics, and what is international business ethics? Everybody know the international business international business means exporting and importing, and international business means through contract arranging, through franchising, through licensing method, through joint venture, through a different negotiation or agreements, through which the particular internationalization of business, or it's called as a drivers of business, through which the business can successful. But the question is what is ethics? The question is ethics means business ethics means what is right or wrong, what is right and what is wrong in the business, and what's called as a that's called as a behavioral approach of right and wrong, or you may call it as a fairness of approach, integrity of approach, commitment to do the approach, or broad-mindedness of approach. That's called as a ethics issues of related to business. And business ethics means it should be it is called as a dealing with solving a unclear business problems. We have to solve the business problems in a different way of consideration. Then only business ethics can success. My dear students, if you talk about the business ethics, that is the word is comes from the business ethics word is comes from that is called as a ethics or ethics, and that is called as a view on the right or wrong of the society, or you may call as a professional standard, you may call as a business also. These are called as a business of approach. It's called as a business ethics. But the question of for the business, why it is necessary? This is necessary for fairness. This is necessary for integrity. This is for commitment to agreement, broad-mindedness, considerateness, and responsible citizen, accountability, self-respect. These are the some issues as relates to the business. But the question is, if you talk about business, that is called as it is called as a exchange or sale. It's called as a creation of utilities. It's business meant for profit. Business is dealt with the risk and uncertainty, and business is always focus on customer satisfaction also, or it is called as a social interaction also. But the question is, in a particular business, if you talk about the objective, the objectives are different types. Economic objective is there. In a economic objective, every business should be survival, whether international business, whether domestic business, or whether local business, whether external business, whether internal business. Whatever business should be survival, growth, incentive, and efficiency, and business should have an prestige enough also. And social objective, if you talk about social objective of business, that's called as a it's related to society, means better product you have to provide, better employment opportunity you have to create, better environment you have to undertaken, better standard of living can be, fairness of approach will be undertaken. And if you talk about service to the employees, that's wages to be paid, good amount of wages, growth and promotion, prosperity of the business. These are the some of the issues which are undertaken by the objective of business. But the question is, if you talk about human objective, similarly, work participation, job satisfaction, good conducive environment, that is called as a congenial working condition, profit sharing schemes, and another one is that is called as the creativity, initiativeness of approach. That another one is a good amount of wages, bonus, dearlines allowance, provident fund, medical facilities, educational facilities. These are the some of the issues through which the human objectives are to be undertaken. Another one is, if you talk about national objective, yeah, now point is national objective. National objective, that we should more focus towards development of skilled personnel. We should more focus to the and small entrepreneur, who encourage the small entrepreneur through which the business can sustain. Means we are more promoting the small scale industries, we are promoting the small scale enterprises, SME, we are promoting the MSME, micro and small medium scale enterprises, or export development policies guidelines are to be more well in a strength of a particular national objective. And some of the laws also, right, as a local laws, state laws, central government laws. If you talk about international, some international laws are there. I have pointed out in last class what are the legal environment approaches there as regards to the internationalization of business. My dear students, if you talk about ethical issues as regards to consumer, or responsible towards consumer, responsible towards shareholder, or responsible towards community, certain points are there. That points is response towards shareholder or consumer means with a different taste, class, or purchasing power, or low cost price goods. Or if you talk about that's called as a handle the complaint the consumers promptly, or you can the product and services can be delivered at a right time. That type of services we can provide. If you talk about responsibility towards shareholder point of view, it means the owners of the company, the proprietors of the company, the partners of the company, or shareholders of the company. We are more focusing toward the responsibility of the management. We are more communicative to the company and shareholder. We are providing maximum information to the shareholder through annual report, through newsletters, and through the other way through which the number of actions we can undertaken towards the shareholder. It means these are the some issues as related to only ethical issues. And if you talk about responsible towards community, there should be community means that is a community development like as a hospitals, schools, colleges, or municipal district boards are to be organized in some forums also, or recreational facilities also. If you talk about what are the three C's of business ethics, if you talk about ethical issues of three C's of business ethics, only three things are to be clear. One is compliance, another one is contribution, another one is consequences. Compliance means with guidelines, with laws and related to guidelines. Another contribution, what type of contribution to the society and as well as your country. Or consequences means what happens in your future. It means that is, you see, in a compliance in my PPT I have pointed out that is compliance related to law, compliance and principles of morality and policy of the company. And another three C's, that is called as a contribution. You see, that is a core value, quality of product and services, employment, usefulness, and quality life also. This is called as a business can make the society with a happiest manner. Another, if you talk about some of the morally and related to ethics and morally, somehow it will be interchangeable words. These are the some of the points through which loyal, patience, truthfulness, or generous, or honest, not cheat to everybody. These are the some of the points through which everybody should be loyal towards business, patient towards business, truthful towards the business. And if you talk about ethical point of view, honesty, fairness, integrity, respect, loyal, these are some of the principles. Honesty towards your business, fairness towards business, integrity of approach is there, loyalty or truthfulness is there, and respect to everybody. That type of principle of ethics are there. And somehow, if you talk about principles of business ethics, what are the principles? Do not exploitation, avoid profiteering. Profiteering will be avoided. Only service motive is there. Healthy competition, accuracy, and pay taxes regularly, and get accounts audited. Fair treatment to employees. Keep investor informed. Means these are mean not only the avoid profiteering means profiteering means we cannot use and cry of a particular profit. We cannot go behind a profit. We should more focus towards service and customer orientation. We are more considerate about the customer point of view, or encourages the healthy competition, healthy approach, healthy of necessary, or ensure the pay taxes regularly. These are the some of the good basic principle of business ethics. And some other principles are there: no bribe, no corruption, optimum utilization of resources, keep social responsible, keep service motive. These are the some of the principle. So these are the principle as it relates to the business ethics. But my point is, what are the ethical issues in international trade? International trade are different forms. I have already stated. And Indian executives in international trade means we should understand the international rules and regulations. And there is some behavioral approach of host countries we can understand. We can understand the quite under small Indian exporters also, their receipt and payment style also, their term of trade of contract also, and we can issues related to ethical dilemmas of international trade and MNCs also. Means we are understanding the means a host country point of view and the exporting guidelines, rules, regulations, so that we can understand so that particular trade and contract should not be unethical. It should be honored to be as a ethical way of doing the business. Another one is, if you talk about what is ethical and what is unethical use in international business, like as a I have already said, that is selling product less demand in home country. This is also a, if you talk about what is ethics, what is unethics. Selling prohibited products in a LDC market, this is also unethical. Selling product likely to be misused, that is unethical. Restrictive trade policies have to be changed, dumping, counterfeiting, and these are the some issues which through which the particular a international business can look into the matter of ethical issues. Another one is what are the approaches to social responsibility? Social responsibility means we are abide by some of the guidelines and we are responsible to the all stakeholders. Stakeholder means every time we are more responsible towards society and all stakeholders. What are the stakeholder? If you talk about stakeholder, in that is called as a society. If you talk about stakeholder, that is called as a government. If you talk about a stakeholder, that may be a consumer. If you talk about a stakeholder, that may be a supplier. These are to be undertaken to solve the service obligation, that is called as a social obligation by voluntarily and conforming with legal and ethical standards. So we in a point of time through the social responsibility. But social responsibility are in a different ways are there. That is called as advocacy, means through financial, material, or human resources backing, through partnership, through different environmental groups, through which it can be done. Through philanthropic means gifting money, time, service, charitable or educational institutions. Through cause-related marketing, that is also done. There is a one example is there. American Express donated 1% of every card purchase to replace the state liberty of it to a particular state. It means these are type of internationalization of business through social responsibility. Means how the MNCs are helpful as regards to social responsibility activities, that is called as a CSR, that may be you may call it as a corporate social responsibility in term or in tune with in a different ways of to serve the society. And sometimes some ethical beliefs are there, some rules are there are different theories are there. In a different theory, that is that concept is discussed in a later on suggests that's called that everybody has to equitable in justice or provide. And the last topic that is called as the unit 20 is the electronic commerce. Electronic commerce, everybody knows the e-commerce. You know the e-commerce. There is an unprecedented opportunity nowadays in e-commerce. There are different companies are there, like everybody knows the Amazon, Flipkart, and through which Alibaba. These are the some of the e-commerce companies are there. The business is carried through the electronically, and now the developing countries or developing countries or developed countries, there are one greater opportunity through e-commerce also. But in 2014, one magazine said there is a number of billions of businesses arises with through e-commerce. North America's position is there, West Europe is there, Asia Pacific is there, America is there, Eastern Europe and Russia is there. In this case, I want to say e-commerce has a tremendous opportunity to through due to the we thankful to the advancement of technology through which our international business can be done or reach that a far away place from our far away place from our business also. Means e-commerce, there are different models are there. If you talk about the models of e-commerce in India, there is a three models are there. First model, second model, third model. First model is the to buy the product and stock them. Second model is the to produce after receiving the order. Third model is the to buy bulk inventory and which is later stored at warehouse. These are the three models through which all in e-commerce companies are to be carry their business at India also. The question is e-commerce. Already, I have pointed out it is broadly associated with some of the electronic channels or computer through telecommunication technology. Means technology is important, internet is important, and through e-commerce, everybody has to through online view there the catalogs and services and activities, automated order processing, production scheduling, delivering scheduling, payment services can be made through the electronic commerce. And there are different benefits are there. What are the benefits? They have one global reach, efficient market research, cost reduction, competitive advantage is there. These are some positive points of e-commerce are there. For example, you see in my slide, there is a philcart.com is there. One tagline is the online mega store, everybody say. And in jabong.com, there is a tagline is they are delivering the lifestyle. OLX, बेच दे सब कुछ बिकता है. These are the some of the e-commerce companies. Mantra, India's largest online fashion store. Joby.com, get smart about style, trade of scene, wholesale price at your doorstep. These are some of the taglines which are very much popular enough to, we are very much encouraging enough to do our business through e-commerce. There are different models of e-commerce are there. B2B, B2C,
Hello,
C2B.
sir.
Hello? Another one is C2C. So there are different models are there. B2B means business to business. B2C means business to consumer. C2B means consumer to business. C2C means consumer to customer. There are different types of models are there through which the business can make successful in e-commerce also. But in e-commerce, one concept is important that is called as a WWW, World Wide Web. The question is World Wide Web means it is a kind of interface. And where it is evolved, the evolved in 1989 by the Tim Berners-Lee, a computer scientist who can Switzerland lab. He has designed the WWW, World Wide Web, and it is a through www such as mosaic and graphical user interface through which we can navigate our internet, access the services also. There is some technicalities is there through www, and through which the particular concept is developed, and they are the first user browser developed that is called as mosaic. And then that is a worldwide web consortium, 3C, that they have also developed some HTML hypertext markup language, and HTTP, that is hypertext transfer protocol is there, through which they are transferring the images, graphs, through the internet also. It means the question is what are the global trade point of networks? Global trade point of networks means how it is correlated with e-commerce with the international business. Under such auspices, United Nations Conference Trade and Development (UNCTD), they have launched in 1992. They are more focusing to the small scale industry. They are more focusing to the giving trader to access advanced technology. They are establish a global trade point network (GTPN), which is officially launched by UNCTAD in the 1994, through which they are promoting the small and medium scale enterprises (MSME), and they are more focusing about the simplifying the
Sir,
trade
सब
processes. They
कुछ
are
एवं
more focusing about the promote new commercial partnerships, and they are more focusing about the communication links with the some of the existing parties. These are through which the business can be done in a different way. Another one is some issues are there, business issues as related to e-commerce application in manufacturing sector also, e-commerce application in wholesale sector also, e-commerce application in retail sector also, e-commerce application in service sector also. If we talk about manufacturing, good quality of product, proper manpower utilization, component assembling, transporting, storage, paperwork are to be less with a cost and drastically in manner will change. And if you talk about wholesaler, similarly, physical assembling, sorting, grading of goods, and that is a change of traditional system of wholesaler will be changed through the wholesaling of business. But somehow we are more conscious about the good quality of goods through the in a right time, quick response time, with a qualitative, with a efficient, with a right of decision making also. Another one is e-commerce related to retailing. There is a different type of websites are there for personal consumption of or selling of goods through to services to the consumers also, or it's a linkage with consumers and manufacturer also, or some of the queries can be solved through online also, and through which it can be benefited through e-commerce. E-commerce is one of the major emerging areas through services sector also. Through there is a pest control service, entertainment service. You may call as a through online you can book the film ticket also, or you can also payment insurance premium banking, and also in education insurance. There is a different quality of services, different special technology there to be undertaken through the service sector also. It means like as a not only banking, financial, retail, telecom, real estate, tourism, logistics, through which e-commerce has a greater important play of with a competitive advantage with a standardized way. Means through which the particular business can be undertaken, and the particular business can be solved through the e-commerce issues can be undertaken particular in a level of business. My dear students, if any question, any doubt, this is 6:25, you can put through the chat box and I can discuss some of the point. Actually this unit is very bigger, and these are the four topics are there: international ethical issues and e-commerce, international trade services. Another one is that is another one is that is international commerce related is there. These are the very much bigger issues are there, through which some important questions like as a e-commerce, how the particular business can be focused on, or in a how the Uruguay round, how WTO will be issues can be solved through the international business. The in this there are different type of questions that will come up in your exam also. My dear students, if you any question you can send me through the particular WhatsApp, and I can solve it, or any in the particular time I can manage the another
Sir, what
one
some
thing.
numbers?
You listen, one class is left, and that is called as a that is this is the last class